Welcome to Desert Giant Gaming. This is Jake here with some more PAX recap. This is for my second day at PAX on Sunday, and I was about a week late recording this, but had a busy week with a lot of adult things, looking at houses and the like. So I have some things in front of me that we'll be talking about, and I'll also talk about. I'm gonna try to talk about the ones I didn't grab a card for, but I did play and do. I was able to snag an appointment for one of the VR games. I wish I could picked one that was a little more of a game as opposed to an experience, as a guy that doesn't have VR and hasn't ever really done VR. But I did play The Last Guardian VR experience. I'm going to say VR experience is not really a full game. Overall, it was a pretty cool experience, though, in terms of scale. I actually haven't played Last Guardian yet, and it's one of the games on my list that I need to get to at some point in my life. But the VR experience is really cool. You play as the kid. I forget the kid's name in the game. And you have Trico around you, and you're trying to throw barrels to it, defeat it as you go along this from the inside, turning levers, climbing on top of him, using him as the top you get up, and then you end up being outside and you jump to him, and it gives that really cool kind of feel of momentum and something catching you and falling and looking down. And you'll see me in my video, I'm sure, do all this stuff. But it was interesting, definitely interesting. I would like more of a game for it. It's definitely not going to be much beyond what they showed you for the experience. It's going to be probably a freeload download thing they'll add to the game. They haven't already. But I did enjoy it. It was cool to try and get in that escape. I will say my things about the actual headset themselves. Took a little bit to figure out how to get myself focused. I kept sitting there, you have to mess with the actual head adjustment thing too. That once I got that focused, it was perfect. I didn't really feel much pressure on my head. It was really comfortable. It got really close to your face, but I wasn't wearing glasses. I wear my contacts a lot more, trying to, and it really didn't bother me at all in that respect. Moving around, looking down, up and down. When I was using, I believe it was the Oculus or the Vive, I can't remember, the ones at the strap. Back at MagFest, not MagFest actually, AVGC, I did a Rick and Morty experience, and every time I looked down, the straps kind of pulled off my face, and it really made things go out of focus when I looked down. This one, because it was tied up here, I looked down, it didn't really shift much, and my focus stayed. So it was really, really beneficial, really well constructed thing. But overall, like the experience. I wish I would have played something a little more involved in gamey, but it was still pretty cool. Now, what do I want to start with? I'm going to start with games I didn't actually play, but I watched a bunch of people play them. It looks really cool. First one I'm going to say is actually it was at this one booth. They had a bunch of things. It was one, not any mega booth, but it was another own little private booth. But Phaeland was really cool. It looked a little like a Metroidvania style of game from the looks of it. Watched one guy play for a few minutes. I have actually some footage of that guy playing, but it looked to me to be like a more Metroidvania style game, kind of fantasy style. Looks really cool. Definitely was interested in trying that out. One thing I want to look into a little more. Other one was Super Retro Maker. Let's Party like it's 1985. The game that they showed, it was like a Mega Man kind of clone, which looks really cool. Not really sure much about it, but people were playing looked really cool. It was like a Mega Man, you could play with more than one person. Was interesting, and just wanted to highlight that. It's a game they had like a big line for, so I don't want to play it, but try it out. But Ashen, it has like the art style in the back a little better. Kind of like a interesting art style where you have guys no eye or little face features but the mustache, but it was very much a Souls-like game, dungeon crawling in that way. Looked kind of cool. Just art style kind of grabbed me. Didn't really get a chance to really play the game, but I was kind of just passing through, and that was that. And then this is the other one. I don't play enough of them, but it looks like a pretty cool RTS. I play AoE 2 and Age of Mythology, those style games. Why focus? Come on. Okay, here we go. Was it Ancestors Legacy? Looks like it's on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox One X. So Xbox One Enhanced, I'm assuming. They had a bunch of other games too, but that was one that grabbed me from that developer. It's 1C company. Looks like the developer on that. So I'll get more to what games I actually played. So I'll have some footage over top of this. The first one I think I played of these was Lost Ember. There's like a little code here for some voucher, but it's doesn't that unique code. But this game I thought was pretty interesting to me. I like the art style. It definitely needs a little rough. Definitely needs to clean up. Hopefully, it gets cleaned up a little bit. But it does some cool stuff when it comes to possessing other animals and moving around and taking control. I can see that opening up later in the game and kind of give you some free will to figure out these puzzles with this, and becoming kind of cool. I ended up, and during the demo, I was like played the wolf. I possessed the I'm gonna blank kind of was, and it wasn't koala. It wasn't dingo. What the other Australian freaking it's a German developer, but very much Australian kind of style. That is all German booth, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the booklet with all the games that they made, but very like Australian style. Like the voice acting, I believe, was an Australian guy. For the soul that you're kind of communicating with is falling around, and you're kind of helping find his host or his dead body, or find out how he died or whatnot. A little more about it. And you're just like a wolf that's carrying, helping him around. But then you possess that. And I possessed it looks like a hummingbird or some sort of bird. It's kind of hard to see. It was only in a short period of time. Then I accidentally jumped out of it and then forgot I couldn't find it. So I didn't mean to purposely get into it, but it looks kind of cool, real explorative. Not really necessarily a platformer, but like an open world kind of explorative game, which kind of looks cool. Where's the other ones? So there's one racing game we played called Trailblazers, which is a 3v3, more of a Wipeout, F-Zero style game. But what you would do is you can a little bit of kart racing ish into it. I'll explain that. You have a meter, and as you're driving, you can either paint behind you, create boost when you're on your color, you boost on that color. And there's two teams, red and blue. And let's see if I can kind of show that. It's kind of hard to see if we get some focus. Some of the other games. I didn't play the other games, but they look kind of cool too. But you paint behind you or you paint in front of you, and you actually you want to try to cover up the other people's paint, but you need to go on their paint to cover it. So it's kind of like a back and forth. I was doing really well and got stuck in one little spot. They had some cool diverse levels, some like crazy like F-Zero style ones where you're corkscrewing around things and stuff like that. And it was overall pretty good game. You can actually, where I say it's kind of like kart racing ish, you can actually, when you hit paint forward, you can also actually just shoot your paint in front of you at the guy in front of you and spin him out, which is kind of like, I guess, kart racy ish. But that's the only thing really kart racy about it. Get to the next game. I'm saving some of the ones I really liked for last. This game I heard about before, and is Tiny Metal. They are very much a game inspired by the Advance Wars series, which if you're a Fire Emblem fan, you should like Advance Wars, and if you don't like Advance Wars, then you need to go play Advance Wars and learn to like it. One of my favorite games on the I played was I had one on Game Boy Advance, and then there was Dual Strike on DS, and those are two very good games. The DS game is was phenomenal. I wish there was more in that series because it's like Fire Emblem but different, where you can base build in a bit and in the game and use resources and to manage that kind of stuff. Have buildings, so it's like a mix of RTS and turn-based like that. Those tactical RPGs, which are really fun, and I really wish that game series. Nintendo make another Advance Wars and that genre expanded a little more. So this actually came up with the first day, and I forgot to record and grab the name of it, but it's The Garden Between. I'll zoom that up. That game was actually grabbed me a lot harder than I thought it was going to. It was a puzzler where you kind of manipulate time, and in different unique ways. Like you only can go forward or back. That's the only thing you do. You can do an action, but it's with the order you do the actions that matters. And I can see this gameplay loop kind of being, or the mechanics being built up later and do some really cool stuff with it. In the beginning is you only get like the first like 4 or 5 levels, and it's pretty much just running through like here's like a couple of puzzles. You're like, here's the mechanics that you need to know, and then how can I mess with you on these, and how can I play with time and manipulate the time where you can destroy something here, do something first, and then go back and keep it up, and like. It was just really cool. Pretty much go around like this, kind of going around this island to the top, and it's like you can do things like you put this lantern down, and then you have that lantern will actually end up moving when you move forward time, and it'll grab a light that it needs to, and you can bring it back, and then you can pick it up there. Like there's just you'll have video going, really unique, really cool. I really enjoyed it. I like puzzlers to some degree, and that one was really unique to me. The other one that was at the Sony booth, and this one I saw had its own booth, but the Sony booth line was much shorter, which is a key thing. Sony had a lot of indies actually this year. They didn't really have any first party games to really speak of. Besides, the one they were really pushing was Detroit Become Human. They didn't even have God of War, which I'm actually kind of glad, because I don't want much of that game spoiled for me. Kind of glad I'm not media, but I'm really pumped for that game. I have like too many games to play. But they had a lot of indies represented at the booth, which is really cool. So if the lines are too long, elsewhere, you can go there and play the game, which is nice. Kind of hop in, hop out. Not really no lines. It's kind of moving through, so it's kind of tight. But I like to play a little bit about Omen Sight, which was a kind of hack and slash isometric perspective beat 'em up kind of game, and a hack and slash. But it was pretty unique. It had some kind of things where you can like pick up things and shoot them at them, and like slow down time with that. At least it seemed like it, if I remember correctly. But it was the story seemed kind of unique, where like the bad guy kind of is, you're helping him at the end of the demo, which made you kind of curious, like who's really the good guy, who's the bad guy, yada 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 kind of thing. So it seemed kind of cool. Just looks really nice, looks really polished. Combat was nice and fluid, and you can do some cool stuff with it, comboing certain things, and definitely looks like really unique to me. Definitely something I want to keep on my radar. And the last one that I think I have anything really for, and I was like, nope, that's pretty much it, was Tunic. This game was adorable. The guy was really nice. I talked to him a little bit, and yeah, it's a isometric style like Zelda game, like more in the vein of like A Link to the Past or Ages or those kind of games. But it had all this charm. The art style was really cool. It was almost like cel shaded, but not. I'm not really sure how I would describe the art style, but it popped to me and really brought me in. Gameplay was great. A little more actiony. I would say a little more like Enter the Gungeon style, like in a way, like you can dodge, roll, and hit things, but very much Zelda. So that was definitely one of the more fun games I played. Definitely got to the boss. I'm not sure you actually could beat the boss. You probably could, but I mistimed my potion. Definitely want to get back to that game. The guy is a solo developer. I talked to him a little bit. Same developer studio that made Night in the Woods. But I think he's on his own, and he's having someone else do the sound design for him and the theme music and whatnot, all that stuff. He's doing just all the development himself, so it's all the art, everything else is him, which is really cool. My buddy is Maddie, who you hear in our shows all the time. He is a solo developer as well, so I respect the hell out of this guy. Really pushing his game, and it was a nice guy to take some time and talk to me for a bit. But yeah, I recommend playing that game heavily. Look into it. I'm not sure there's demos available. I really didn't look into that yet. If there's any demos I can find, I'm going to put them below for any of these games I've talked about. I'm trying to think of anything else. So I also played this really fun Vita game, Russian Subway Dogs. It's also on other platforms, consoles. I want to say Switch as well and whatnot. But I did play on Vita, more specifically. Vita Libs. It was a fun little, like, more or less I'm not even sure if it was, I want to say a puzzle game, but it's kind of, your goal is to keep the dog alive. So when people come out of the train, you try to bark at them to scare them. They throw their food in the air. You eat the food. It keeps you alive. There's other dogs are trying to steal the food from you or kind of bark at you and not get you out of the way. You can have vodka fall on them and explode and kill them, or like hurt them. Scare them away, or you can use the vodka and have the sandwich and then vodka hit each other in the air, because the other ones have vodka, to make cook food, give you more energy, and the goal is like, it's kind of like endless. I'm not sure. I think because the goal is to get to a certain amount of points. I really just played a quick little game of it. Really fun for what I played of it. Glad that people are making stuff and putting on the Vita, which makes me really happy inside. Wish more people did that, and maybe we'd still be playing the Vita, but to keep an eye out for that as well. So I did run into some guys I met at MagFest called Mass Semblance. Their game was there as well. Their game got shouted out by Greg Miller, so that was actually really cool for them. And their game actually was pretty fun. They seemed like I remember having some issues with their game. We're still very early, and they even said like we fixed a lot of things, made it a little faster. Things were more obvious. Like there was just a few little like the game was good. They just needed like the more or less the little polishing things. There's a better word for it, but just a little uh, but yeah, they cleaned up a lot of the little things that people were nitpicky more or less with, and the game looks good. I actually didn't sit down and play with it because I played enough of it, and I know if they fix those things, and I trust them. There is a demo available. I saw that, so I'll try to post that below. That was another game I did look at and play a little bit. I think that's it. I feel like I play a lot more. Maybe there's ones I'm missing. I just didn't record or I'm missing. But overall, I had a great experience with PAX. Enjoyed the board game area. The board game area seemed a lot bigger this year. It was really fun. My wife got some dice for D&D, so now she's not borrowing some hand-me-downs. And yeah, I just had a great time at PAX. So if you're in the area next year, get to it because it's lots of fun. Tickets sell quick. I actually still recommend going on Sunday if you can not travel. Lines were a lot shorter. I felt like I could a lot more room to breathe. Friday was way busier. Thursday's a lot like Sunday as well, but if you don't want to take off the Thursday, go Sunday. Sunday is highly recommended if you don't care about the panels afterwards or staying late. If you're going to go in and leave at 6 when the show floor closes, do that because I highly recommend it. It's really fun. Like and subscribe below. See you in the next one, and thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks. Bye.